Hello, everyone, and a very warm welcome.
Hi there.
Great to have you with us for this deep dive. I'm thrilled you're joining us today.
Good to be here.
We're going to unpack something quite specific today. An announcement from the DWP, the Department for Work and Pensions.
That's right. It's about a new pension payment, £230 a week.
Exactly. But, and this is the key part, it seems tied to, well, specific national insurance numbers.
It is very specific.
So we'll try and figure out exactly who this affects, what it really means, and also touch on some other benefit changes around retirement age.
Sounds good. It's definitely caused a bit of a stir.
Yeah, so the goal is to give you the essential info, clear and quick.
Okay, so diving in. This DWP confirmation. It's for a £230 weekly pension payment.
Right.
And the start date they've given is Tuesday, May 6th, 2025.
May 2025. Okay.
Now, the really striking thing, as you said, is it's not for everyone.
No.
It's specifically targeted. Individuals whose national insurance numbers end in the digits 20 through to 39.
20 to 39. That's quite a narrow band, isn't it?
It is, and it makes you think, why that specific range?
What's the thinking behind targeting just those NI numbers? Is it random or?
Well, the information suggests it's about streamlining. The idea seems to be that focusing on this specific group, these NI codes, might help the DWP manage the payments more efficiently.
Right. Ensure timely disbursement, perhaps?
Exactly. Maybe processing them in a specific batch or segment. It's definitely a bit different from how pension payments have generally been distributed before.
A shift from the broader approach.
Yeah.
So, okay, let's nail down the eligibility, if you're listening and wondering if this applies to you.
Two main things.
Go on.
First, you absolutely must have reached the state pension age. That's the baseline.
Okay, standard requirement.
And second, your national insurance number. Those last two digits need to be between 20 and 39 inclusive.
Both conditions have to be met.
Precisely. So it really, highlights how important it is for people near or at retirement age to actually find their NI number and check those last digits.
Definitely worth digging out that card or letter. And for those who do qualify, this £230 a week, that could be quite significant.
Oh, absolutely. For the people eligible, it's a direct boost to their weekly income. That kind of regular amount can, offer a real sense of financial stability.
Bit more security.
Yes. And the interesting question this raises is this a one-off? Or are we seeing maybe the start of a more granular way the DWP distributes funds?
Like a pilot scheme, almost.
Could be, or just a new strategy. It could potentially set a precedent for future, more streamlined, maybe even more targeted payment processes down the line.
That's definitely something to watch. Now, reaching state pension age, it often triggers other changes in benefits, doesn't it? Our sources mention this, too.
Yes, that's a really crucial point.
Yeah.
It's a big transition moment.
So what should people be aware of?
Well, certain benefits people might have been getting before state pension age, they generally stop. Things like job seekers allowance, JSA, and also employment and support allowance, ESA. Once you hit state pension age, eligibility for those usually ends.
Right, so those supports fall away. That's a big change for some.
It can be, yes.
But it's not like all support just vanishes, is it? Are there things that continue or become available?
No, absolutely not. Other support does remain. For instance, pension credit, it's still available for eligible people to top up their retirement income.
Okay, pension credit.
And also attendance allowance. If you have care needs, that remains available, again, subject to eligibility. It's not tied to stopping work, but to your health needs.
So some doors close, but others remain open or open up. It's more of a shift in the type of support available.
Exactly. A recalibration, you could say, for that stage of life.
Now, with something this specific, the NI numbers, the date, I can imagine there might be some confusion floating around.
Understandably, yes.
What's the best way for pensioners or those approaching pension age to get, the accurate facts? Avoid the noise.
The absolute best way is always to go direct to the source, the DWP's own official website.
Gov.uk.
That's the one. It should always be the first port of call for the most up-to-date, accurate information.
Right. Any other reliable places?
Well, established, reputable news outlets, particularly those that cover finance and social welfare issues carefully, can be good.
Yeah.
But always cross-reference with the official source if you can.
And what about if you need help understanding your specific situation? It can all feel a bit complex.
Absolutely. For that kind of tailored advice, organizations like Citizens Advice are just invaluable.
Ah, yes, Citizens Advice.
They can really help you navigate the system, understand how these rules apply to you personally, cut through the official language.
Provide some clarity. Good shout.
Mm-hmm.
We mentioned the main point of confusion is probably thinking this is for everyone. Are there other common misunderstandings we should maybe address?
That is the main one, honestly. And it's really worth stressing again. This 230-pound payment, based on the information we have, is not a universal thing for all pensioners.
Not across the board.
No. It is specifically tied to having reached state pension age A and D, having a national insurance number ending in 20, 21, all the way up to 39.
Check that number. That's the key message.
That's the key message. Don't just assume, verify.
Okay. Looking ahead now, this targeted approach. Do you think we might see more of this from the DWP in the future?
It certainly suggests they're willing to try it. These kinds of targeted initiatives could potentially improve efficiency.
How so?
Well, in theory, directing resources or payments to very specific groups identified as needing them, perhaps based on certain criteria like NI numbers or other factors, it could be seen as a way to manage resources effectively.
A more nuanced approach to benefits.
Possibly. It does raise questions about how those groups are defined, of course, but efficiency seems a likely driver.
Makes sense. But are there sort of potential downsides or risks if they go further down this path, things they'd need to manage carefully?
Oh, definitely. The absolute number one thing would be communication.
Clarity.
Crystal clarity. If you roll out targeted initiatives without really clear, widespread communication about who qualifies and who doesn't and why, you risk confusion.
And maybe resentment.
And resentment, anxiety, feelings of unfairness among those excluded. So transparency and excellent communication would be absolutely vital for any future schemes like this.
Couldn't agree more. So for our listeners wanting to stay informed, stay ahead of the curve on any future changes, what's the best way to do that?
Be proactive, I'd say. Keep an eye on the official DWP website. Check it regularly for announcements.
Make it a habit.
Yeah. Also, consider subscribing to newsletters from reliable organizations like Age UK or Citizens Advice or Money Advice Charities. They often summarize these things well.
Get updates sent to you.
Exactly. And finally, if there are local events, community information sessions, maybe run by the council or charities about pensions and benefits, attending those can be really helpful. You get insights and can ask questions.
Good practical tips. Okay, so let's just quickly summarize the key points from today.
Sure.
The main news is this specific DWP announcement, a 230-pound weekly pension payment starting around May 6th, 2025.
Correct.
Crucially, it's only for those who've reached state pension age A and D, whose national insurance number ends in digits 20 through 39.
That's the core eligibility.
For the official details, the DWP website is your best bet.
Always the primary source.
And for wider help, understanding your situation, navigating the system, organizations like Age UK and Citizens Advice are excellent resources.
Highly recommended.
Ultimately, staying informed is just so important for managing your finances in retirement, isn't it?
It really is. Knowing your entitlements is key.
Well, thank you so much for walking us through all of that. It certainly made things a lot clearer.
My pleasure. Happy to help clarify.
And a big thank you to all of you listening and joining us for this deep dive on the DWP pension update.
Thanks, everyone.
We really hope it's given you a clearer picture of these changes and, what they might mean for you or people you know.
Hope so.
Remember, for more details, do check the DWP website and those great resources from Age UK and Citizens Advice.
Definitely worth doing.
And just before we go, here's something to maybe think about. If we do see more of these kinds of targeted benefit approaches in the future, how might that actually change the way we all think about and interact with the whole social support system?
Interesting question.
Something to ponder. Okay, that's all from us for this deep dive. Goodbye for now.